It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jarrell, and I am a recovered Genwunner. It feels good to say that out loud. It's been about 16 years or so since I was finally able to meet with other people and accept and admit that I was a Genwunner and that I needed help. And I'm so glad to be able to move on with my life after accepting that being a Genwunner was negatively affecting the other people in my life, my friends who wanted to play multiplayer and battle in other Pokemon games would say, why are you still playing Blue? Why aren't you playing the newer games? And I could see I was hurting people. And so I'm done. I'm done being a Genwunner. That was 16 years ago. Kalos is my favorite region now. After I've grown as a person, and Kalos is my favorite region. So Nintendo has dropped something so interesting. I really like this. The Pokémon Company. They put this on their YouTube page last night. YouTube page. Wow, I sound like somebody's uncle. Oh. Now this to me is so exciting. We all know that Pokemon works well when it leans into horror aspects. Ever since the first games with the Pokemon Tower with the graveyard, and in Kalos we have the Ghost Girl. There's so many moments in Pokemon where they sort of lean into horror a little bit. They sort of dip their toes into the water. And it for some reason always works well. The world of Pokemon has a kind of eldritch mystery to it. There's this feeling that there's always something just a little bit more you don't understand. These creatures with devastating power that could probably melt the planet if they wanted to are only not doing that because you are their friend, which is kind of funny. Sometimes you upset your friend and maybe your friend has the power to destroy the planet or create a black hole, and you know how it goes. So there's this underlying theme that anything could be out of your control at any moment. Some powerful creature could land on your house and destroy your family. So this short, I would call it a short, a short horror film set in the Pokemon universe might be my favorite thing that's come out of Pokemon in a very long time. This felt like it could have been a horror game. And it seems like it's crossing over, say for example, with Resident Evil or PT, which was a Silent Hill playable teaser. It feels like Pokemon and Silent Hill or Pokemon and Resident Evil. And as I was watching this trailer, I just could not help but feel this would be a great game if Pokemon did actually make a horror game and leaned into some of the Pokemon that are a bit intimidating. There are Pokemon that have lore that are kind of upsetting. Hypno steals children. Drifbloom steals children. The list goes on and on. Stealing children seems to be sort of, that leans into fairy tales and teaching kids about stranger danger. And I think that's probably why so many Pokemon have lore where they steal children. It's Mawile. Is Mawile? I'm not entirely sure. I'm just assuming that maybe it's based on the Yamauba, the sort of the Japanese cryptid. A lady wearing a kimono, and she's in the mountains, and she invites children to her home, and then she opens up the mouth in the back of her head, and then she eats the children. So I think Mawile is based on a cryptid that eats children. So that's a guess. I don't think that's actually in the lore, but this is so interesting, and it introduced Mega Victreebel. I really like this. I wasn't a huge fan of Mega Dragonite. I did want there to be a Mega Dragonite because then we would have Dragonitite, which was pretty tight. And Mega Victreebel this is reassuring to me. This is the kind of design I would like to see from Mega Pokemon. It's I think the word is derpy. It's just, look at him. Look at my beautiful child, my beautiful boy. He's rotund, he's happy, he's living his life the best way that he can, bouncing around, just trying to dissolve people with acid. And at the end of the day, what more could you ask for in life? I really like this design. I just wanted to talk about it with you guys and hear what you have to say, what you think about it, because I love this design. I'm hoping we get more adorkable Mega designs like this. It's really cool. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company did not need to go this hard when it came to revealing Victreebel. For me personally, the Mega Dragonite reveal, it wasn't as exciting. It wasn't as big. It was just very by the numbers. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. They just showed us. Okay, that's fine. But this reveal goes so hard with this little short animated film that looks like Pokemon with Silent Hill or Pokemon with Resident Evil. And this was a delight. I'm gonna watch this again. I was already in bed, and then obviously you're gonna check YouTube, for just you get into bed, you're getting ready to fall asleep, and then you just check YouTube for 3 or 4 more hours before you go to sleep. So I just checked YouTube real quick, and then I saw this. So I'm gonna watch it now with my morning coffee. But this was so cool. And if you haven't seen it yet, of course, I'll put the link in the description to that. So if you enjoy Pokemon games like me, if you're a fan of those, I'm going to share something pretty cool with you, something that I just found. Check out this bad boy right here. This is called the 040. It is a handheld emulation device. It runs a custom version of Android. Here you see I'm just as a test, I'm running the Hannah Montana game for Nintendo DS. So you can see this device was designed to run Nintendo DS games. This is not a sponsorship. I bought this the other day. You can order this online. I'll put links to it. They're not sponsored. So if you're interested in this, the units do come in a black variant as well. The shoulder buttons are quite comfortable, but overall, the entire design is meant to feel similar to the Nintendo DS. And the strength of this console is its unique vertical screen, which you can use the touchscreen, and it is meant to emulate Nintendo DS. All of the DS games that I have tried work great. The lights, the camera are blowing out the lighting there, so as it looks, it's quite comfortable to hold. There are some improvements that I would like to see, but I'm hoping this does well. I'm hoping this becomes popular and it sells well, so that the manufacturer will create a new model. What I would really like are rubber grips on the back. We have a number of handheld emulation devices that do have little rubber pads on the back, and it just stops the device from slipping. I would really like that. And I would like a larger screen. This screen, it's serviceable, but when you are playing a game that has a fair amount of reading, then it becomes uncomfortable because the text is quite small. These screens are on the small side. I would like for the screen to be, corner to corner, maybe there. I would like that. I really enjoy playing the DS XL, DSi XL. Whew, the screen on that, fantastic. Easy to see the text, nice and sharp. This works great. The performance has been great. It also comes with a bunch of old arcade games that are vertical shooters or vertical style games. So those are really cool. I'm enjoying exploring. Hold that down for a second. And we'll just scoot on over. There's the operating system, and you can see that you can install Android apps on there. This comes with one or two. I'm extremely interested in this because I want to make games that use the vertical screen. So I will be creating games exclusively for this. I'll be making versions of my games that I already have out. I'll be making vertical versions of them and optimizing them specifically for this device. So I love this device so much. I'll be supporting it, for at least a couple years. I think it's so cool. So if you grab one of these, you'll be able to play my games. Developing an Android is very fast and easy for me, and you have a nice touchscreen. So I want to make use of the features of this bad boy and the hardware control. So I'm going to I'm just going to have some fun making games for this. It's really cool. Making games for older consoles through Homebrew is harder and slower, but Android, ooh, you can breeze through Android development. So this device is really cool. The screen is great. I don't exactly know what the battery life is like yet. I only just got this device. The analog stick, it has short travel, and you have to be careful, because if you sort of approach it from the top and then move, you can bottom out and touch the side of the console pretty quickly. So it's not the most comfortable, but it is mostly flush, so it doesn't stick out a whole lot. It's quite comfortable. I kind of approach the analog stick from the opposite side and then just nudge it from the opposite side. If you're flat on there, it doesn't have a lot of grip, you're likely to slide off, and that's just how it is. I do like that it looks like the circle pad from the 3DS, which is pretty neat. I don't know if this is strong enough to run a 3DS emulator. Who knows? I still just have the stock stuff on there. But if you're interested in emulation, and if you love DS, if you're looking for an handheld emulator device, this is very cool. The screen is very small. It makes reading text a little hard. But I'm hoping, if this does well, again, if the manufacturer sees a lot of people are interested in this, bigger screen, please. I would like, corner to corner, something like that would be great. I would love a bigger screen. I would love rubberized pads on the back so it doesn't slide around, especially if I'm chomping down on Cheetos. My Cheeto mittens get covered in Cheeto dust, and then, oh boy, you're basically, you could lubricate a ball bearing with Cheeto dust, basically. So I really like the white color on this is really cool, but there's black as well. You have your memory card there. You have two slots, one for the operating system and one for your ROMs, your power button, your volume hardware button. You have your USB-C charger, USB-C on the go, and a headphone jack to listen to your sick beats. Anyway, you guys know where I'm going with this. If you obviously love the Pokemon DS games, they're great, and this can play them. That obviously is where I'm going with this. Of course, I'm not promoting piracy, but come on, we're all gamers here. We all download ROMs, you know it. This is a great way to keep some games with you. I know that you're playing ROM hacks. The Pokemon hacking scene is so cool. There's a lot of different mods out there and custom versions of the games. Chuck them on here. This is a cool way to play it. The battery life seems pretty good so far, I think. It's a good screen, just needs to be bigger. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. That was super cool. Again, Magic X 040. I'm not sponsored. I just think this is super cool, and I think you guys might like this as well. Okay, Victreebel is cool. The little horror short was cool. This is cool. It's all cool, baby. Okay, I'll see you later. Take care. See you in the comments.